How are you feeling?
Good, better.
Well, what was going on, I guess, before the game, leading up to the game Wednesday?
Um, I just woke up and I was feeling a little weak. I think I had the flu, so I mean I probably still have it, but lower level. So yeah, sorry, I don't want to get shot sick, but just lower level. But B Wells got me right, so that's kind of why I missed you, man.
Was there any point you thought maybe I won't be able to
Nah,
play in this?
I was gonna play regardless. Yeah.
Is that something where if you go into a game sick like that, are you maybe feel off a little at the beginning and then start to get it more as the game gets in its flow, or is it bad throughout?
Nah, for sure. It's like you gotta get your second win. So I feel like that's kind of what it was. I was trying to use warm ups to really break a sweat, try and get my second win. But that's what it is. You gotta kind of sweat it out a little bit.
Were you watching like MJ highlights before the game or something? Because you played pretty good.
Nah, I was just if I'm gonna play, I'm trying to do what I do. So I didn't want it to be like an excuse or anything. So if I step on the court, I'm just trying to play.
Have you had any conversations with Malachi? Because he kind of stole your moment since you were supposed to get that ball there at the end.
Nah, I was just like, thank you, bro. Cause I missed the last free throw, so he saved the day, and that was a big time play. The catch, the throw, and then for him to turn around, lock in, and make it. I was just like, got you one, bro. Thank you.
Walk us through the emotions of that, because you nearly made the game winner just a few plays before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it would have counted, but
Yeah.
clearly they didn't think so. So talk us from the high. Did you think it counted? And then
Yeah, I thought it counted. Everyone in the huddle thought it counted because I came back and I was like, yeah, did it count? I was like, yeah, it's good, it's good. So I didn't even think of anything about it. But that's part of the game. The quick turnarounds, the highs and lows. So you go from thinking, you see what to do, but we just had to go and fight a little longer. But it's all good.
At what point did you know that shot clock was running down, or that it was a 2 or 5 or whatever? Whenever you saw it,
I didn't even know, if I'm being honest. I didn't even realize. I was so like dialed in because the play was for me. So like they were kind of denying a little bit. So I was really just trying to get the ball, and then I got it. And I didn't even realize until like I kind of heard it get like I heard the gym get a little like come on. So that's kind of when I realized.
Both Malachi and Tony hit an LSU game winner this season.
Yeah.
Last night, Tony got asked which she thought was better, hers or Malachi. She said hers. So what do you think?
That's a hard one. I like Malachi's because that's for us. Tony's was cold too. I used to step back three, so I mean that one is definitely one you're gonna remember for sure.
Did Colin mean to throw it to Malachi? Did you all figure that out?
Yeah, he did for sure. Because I was all the way to like the left side of the court, and then went all the way to the right. So I was like, yeah, he definitely meant to throw it to Maddie.
when you saw that ball, I guess, go up, what were you thinking? Because it was probably coming this way. You probably didn't know Malachi was open.
The pass?
Yeah, the pass from Colin.
I was like, oh, okay. Maybe he saw something. I didn't, but I thought it was gonna come my way. But then I went to Nice. I was like, okay, maybe he's just gonna throw it up and let Mally go get it, and that's what he did.
So is it possible to come off of a high of a game like that and maybe learn something from the way you played in the second half and translate that into tomorrow's game?
Yeah, we got to start from the jump. We've had these slow starts, and I think it starts with me and Da, and us being the older guys in the starting lineup. So I think we just got to get off on a way better start offensively. We got to start sharper. The intensity has to be how it is when we play the second half. We just got to adjust it. Really, that's all it is.
And Jelavić said that you sent a text around everybody to let them know kind of about Tennessee. What can you share with us what that was?
It was the last year when we were at Tennessee, and I was at the free throw line. They just started chanting, "Go Big Blue." So I was like, "Yeah, let's go in there, do that again. Let's have them cheer Big Blue in their home arena." So.
How do you get the newer guys to kind of buy in and realize, hey, this is Tennessee. We don't like them. They don't like us. This is a big rivalry for us here.
Yeah, everyone already knows. We got a lot of Kentucky guys, and on top of that, a couple guys that play in the SEC. So, everyone knows the stakes, and on top of that, we just want to win the game. Get on the right side of this the road trip really. So I want to know. It's not good too.
What kind of challenges does Nate Miss pose to you all?
Big guard, so just got to be physical with him. He's really good offensively, so just can't let him dictate where he wants to go. We got to dictate that for him.
With Gillespie, what have you seen from his game so far?
He's quick, good shooter, so gotta pick him up a little higher than college 3-point line, but I think we got a solid game plan.
I mentioned, Jelavić was talking about how when you've got some other shooters like himself and Cam on the floor, he called you a great slasher. How much more efficient is the offense when all of those things are working and you have a threat of the outside shot?
Yeah, I feel like that's all that we've been trying to get to. Just getting more space, and we have guys knocking down shots, and even if they're not knocking down shots, just being aggressive and taking them and trying to make a play. I feel like that just opens up everything. Opens up the cuts, back doors. Me getting downhill, DA getting downhill. It really just starts up everything, if I'm being honest.
What did the bad taste left in your mouth from how last season ended impact your emotions going into this one?
If I'm being honest, I'm not even thinking about that really. I just really want to just get a win. Obviously, I know what it is to play Tennessee every time I do. So, yeah, it's that emotion tied to it as well. But I'm really just trying to get this win.
Obviously, the last time you guys went on the road in a rivalry game, things didn't go very well. Why will tomorrow be different?
Because we're gonna start with that intensity from the jump. I feel like we know now, like we have something to build on. We got our first road win, so we know what it takes. We can't get down early, so I feel like we just have to translate that same intensity we had second half to tomorrow.
So first time talking since Jalen went down, just kind of your reaction to the news and how the DA stepped up in his absence.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. I look at Jalen in a whole different light now because he puts his body on the line, practicing every day, playing every day, knowing that his shoulder is probably 40%, 50%. So, I'm just really thankful that I did get to play with him in the time he did. Great teammate, great leader, and on top of that, even though he's sitting out the whole season, he's still super locked in. Talking to us throughout the whole game, before the game, giving his spill because, he's still a basketball savant. He watches all the game, watches all the film. So, he's definitely just a great leader. It's unfortunate he can't play, but, we're gonna do this for him. So.
And then DA stepping up.
Yeah, it's been big. I feel like DA's used to, playing that point guard spot. So, he has a lot on his plate, but, he's been doing good at, leading us and keeping us really composed. That's what the PGs are for. He's doing a really good job.
I think an SEC player averaging 21, 5, 4 or something like that. Maybe 3 steals, something. What is it about SEC play? Because obviously you did a similar thing last year. What is it about the SEC that just gets the best out of you?
Just the constant bump. It's great competition, and I feel like in non-conference you could kind of get away with not playing the best and still winning, but SEC you playing the top teams every single night. So I just love competing, love playing against these great teams, and I feel like it just brings the best out of me and everyone really.
What did click for you in the last month or so? Was it just coming back from injury and just kind of getting that familiarity back?
Just me, just getting back to my game. I feel like getting my footing back, like you said it was. I didn't come back from injury. I was out 3 months before the season, so my footing and my feel just kind of felt a little off. But now I feel like I'm getting my foot speed and just getting my feel for picking my spots back a little bit.
Really consistent with your 3-point shot this year as well. Just what can you attribute that to, and what's your confidence level shooting right now?
I'm just shooting it, not thinking. Before I may shoot and be like, all right, I'm shooting because I'm supposed to shoot it. I may be open, but now I'm like, all right, if I'm a shooter, let me actually try and make it. Let me be locked in and focused on this. So, just me working on my shots every day, every night. I feel like that's really what it is, just being confident.
What do you think Malachi's ceiling is, long term for him?
Yeah, that's I don't think he really don't got no ceiling. I feel like this is probably like um, not the worst he's gonna be, but he's just gonna continue to just get better. Like he's so good right now, but you can still see like he has so much more to go, and he's really effective both offensively and defensively. He just takes up space, so I feel like he could just. I mean, the sky's the ceiling. I mean, it's unlimited.
What do you think of Jelavić's first start?
It was good. I think he shot the ball really well, really physical. It was hard. He probably went 3 games without playing, and then went to the starting lineup. So it's challenging, but I feel like he did a really good job, just being locked in. And we got next man up mentality, and we had that for sure.
What did you see from him in practice to kind of suggest that what he was doing in practice was going to translate to true road environment in his first start?
Exactly what he was doing in the games. I feel like Yeli, he's really good at just not getting too high or too low, no matter what the circumstances is. And in practice, he's done everything that he's supposed to do. He's really focusing in on defense and knowing the calls and knowing what we're doing. And I feel like that's the best part.
Both kept kind of the same 5 out there for basically the last 8+ minutes of the game. Just what was the comfort level? What clicked so well with that group?
We was just grooving. I'm glad he kept us out there. We found the groove. If I'm being honest. I think it's part of the 5 he had could really space the floor. Really aggressive off the bounce. So I thought that's kind of what it was. But then defensively too, we were getting stops, getting out passing lanes, and I think we just found the groove really. That could be any 5 though, any given night. But I feel like that 5 was just really special in that game.
How do you feel about going to Tennessee?
Well, we feel really confident that we're gonna give a good fight, and the team is in the right place, and we feel really confident. We're not underestimating them, but we believe in ourselves. We believe in our players, and we're going for a win no matter what. Yeah.
How much did playing the other night and winning the way that you did, can you carry any of that momentum over into this game?
Yes, I mean, even when we were down 18 or whatever, how many, I know at least in my mind we were never losing that game in any manner, but the game was tough, and at the end Malachi hit the winner, and I think the game could have gone both ways, but I think we deserved it. We showed a lot of character in the second half especially. And in my opinion, this was the game that it was the most team win we ever had, because literally every player had his moments, had his big moments in the game, and at the end just a little bit of luck, a little bit of good game plan and everything, and we won.
What did you see of that pass and shot from your perspective?
If I was under the basket, it was really it was crazy. We obviously draw a play, but it was second and a half full court. Colin Chandler with a quarterback pass, an amazing pass, and as Malachi and the other player jumped, I thought it would maybe the ball would maybe slip from both of them. So I went under the basket, but Malachi catch it and turnaround jumper. It was slow motion, perfect. It was really awesome from him, and he didn't even think about it. He just turned around, made it. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Things haven't always gone your way this season. Sometimes you play, sometimes you don't play. Got your first start on a Wednesday. How are you feeling about your game? I mean, how are you been able to kind of handle, the ups and downs of the season so far?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think even when obviously I had some good games, I had some bad games. I think I was always confident in myself. I knew that even when I was not playing, I knew that it's not because I'm a bad player. It's just because the situation is like that. Maybe some other player stepped up at that moment. We won some games, and the coach didn't want to change the winning roster that was currently playing. So, but I just I was keep training, keep practicing in the gym over time. Came in the night, came in the morning to shoot. I know what I need to work on, and I knew my chance was gonna come, and that I'm gonna take it. I knew that some game like Mississippi State is gonna come, that I would sub in, and I had to do my role good to keep my minutes, and I guess I did it good at Mississippi State. And going into going into LSU game. I felt really confident. Of course, being a starter is a big role, but I had that role before, and I felt really confident, and I think I gave a solid performance. And yeah, so I'm currently really confident in myself, and even when I was not playing, I was confident in myself, and I was just like cheering for my teammates. I know that running this team is not easy. We have a lot of players, more than most of the teams, that are all good players, and it's just something it's like that you don't play for a few games, but I just wait for my opportunity.
When did that starting lineup conversation happen with Pope, and what was your reaction to it?
Well, it just going into Mississippi game, I knew I obviously with the JQ out, I knew I was gonna have a chance. And when I subbed in, I think I didn't score much, but I played a good role. I fighted, and I guess I knew after that performance I'm gonna have some minutes to going into LSU games. Of course, I didn't know I was gonna be a starter, but I guess it just he gave me the opportunity, and I was ready to take it.
What did
You're
he
playing
tell you
professional
before that
last-
start? What did Coach Pope say about?
Well, we didn't really have a conversation like where he come and told me you're gonna start this. I think it was just we came into practice the day or two before the LSU, and he just called our names, and I was in the starting five. So he didn't really tell me anything. I thought he knew I was ready, and that's it.
When you were playing professional the last 2 years, did you ever have a situation where you were in and out of the lineup like that, or was this?
Yeah, I did for sure. Not my first year, but my second year, I had an injury. I broke my little finger on my hand, and I was out for like a month. And when I came back in, of course, some other players had good games on my positions, and they were having like they were in the starting lineup. And my minutes started to drop and everything. But as I said, I even then I kept believing myself, and I came back to the starting lineup by the second half of the season. So yeah, it's a familiar situation I've been in.
For you all as a group, you come off the highs of a big win like that on Wednesday. How do you turn it back around and get ready for a rivalry game on the road just 3 days later?
I mean, it's just yeah, we were gonna forget about that game because this is our greatest game, our next game, and we're just turning ourselves up. Now I think like 5 minutes ago, Otega sent a message to the group, some TikTok about 2 wins last season against Tennessee, and we were just like, we need to get busy. Yeah.
Where do you feel like you've made the most progress since you got here? I guess where are you feeling the most comfortable now that maybe you weren't when you first got the Lexington?
Well, I think I'm not. I think definitely like maybe like physicality, and not even like punching other players, but just as a third defender to like tag my opponent, and those what I call like unnecessary contacts when the ball is not even for my player. I'm like getting him into contact a little bit, punching him. So I think I got more physical. Of course, it's not even near where it needs to be, but yeah, I'm working on my physicality as well as my contribution on defensive end.
How does it feel to get a couple shots to fall finally?
Yeah, it feels great. I've been working really hard on it, and it felt really great. It was like it was good shots. I wanted even more, like at least 3 of them, but I feel really confident in my shot. And I think it'll drop.
How frustrating was it to just not see them fall? And that shots that you're typically used to making that weren't falling at the start of the season, and how much is it kind of making them finally build confidence?
Yeah. At the beginning, they weren't falling, and I was frustrated, but there was nothing else for me to do than to go in the facility and shoot even more, shoot off the dribble, not shoot just like slow motion shot, but shoot like game shots, increase speed and everything. So yeah, I train really hard, and I'm training really hard, but I was always confident in my shot, and knew I can. That's something that parts me from other bigs, that I can make a shot from the outside, and I knew that's something I just need to keep working on, keep believing in, and it'll fall.
What does it do for this offense when you're making shots? You got guys like Cam on the floor that can make shots as far as stretching the defense.
Yeah, well, I think that definitely like 3-point shot is obviously important, but I think it's even more important when you have when you have a really dominant slashers like Otega. Then if he slashes and kicks out and me can make shots, then the next time the opponents will be more spread out, and then he can go to work. He's him, Denzel, and of course Malachi as a center. So I think it's really important to have a balance between being dangerous from the outside and the inside, and I think that's what we're doing really good right now, especially the last game.
Coach Pope has spoken to us before about the importance of you rebounding the basketball and contributing in that way. How do you feel like you've made progress in that regard this season, just rebounding, getting on the glass, and coming up with loose balls for this team?
Yeah, I was a pretty good rebounder back home, but here I'm also. I think it's just like a hustle part of the game, and it just that you. I'm obviously I got a frame, I'm long, but it's just a hustle part of the game. You need to want it. You need to go for every rebound, especially offensive rebounds. And I think I'm doing good. I can do better, but I'm definitely doing everything I can to get every rebound. Me and Malachi, and of course all the other guards.
The team seems to play a little bit better, maybe when it goes smaller. How comfortable are you playing the five? I know you maybe don't want to be a center, but how comfortable are you playing the five and being a center for the team?
I'm pretty comfortable being the center from the team. Yeah, we sometimes go slow. I think it's. I was not playing it a lot on the practice, but I know all the plays, and I think I can like when I need to rest some of our big men, like 5 men, I can definitely do that to play a solid role at the five for a few minutes or however much is needed. So yeah, I think I can do that.
With Jalen being shut down for the season, what was your initial reaction to that, and what have you and the team done to kind of keep his head up during that time?
Yeah, I mean he went down. He really fought for us for a long time, much longer than he needed. I mean his shoulder injury was always, I think, really really high risk, but that didn't stop him. He played a lot of games throughout the injury, and even some games got injured in the first half, came back in the second half, and obviously in that games he was one of, if not our best player, and seeing him not play for the rest of the season is really sad. But I really wanted to play with him, but I think this is just the best for him and the future and his future here at the Kentucky, because the most important thing is to take the 100% care of that shoulder for him to come back and be who he is.
How have you seen Denzel step up in his absence, especially against LSU?
Yeah, he definitely stepped up, especially in the second half. In the first half, it's hard when in the first half you're not performing as well as you want, and then in the second half step up like that, making shots. I was really there were some plays that we were the play did go wrong, and he just had a ball at the top of the 3-point line, and he just shot, and the shots went in, and I was like, thank God. Then really, really, really good performance from him.
Obviously, the way that you guys came out in the second half against LSU was totally different than the way you played most of the first half. Just what was that halftime conversation with Coach Pope atmosphere like to get you guys to change the flow?
In the first half, I was like, these guys are so not better than us, and we can do so much better, but we just, I don't know, we had poorly performance, and by the way, that cannot happen against Tennessee, because I'm not underestimating LSU, but Tennessee is much more dangerous opponent than them, and we need to be in from the first minute, and we know that. But just I even think the conversation at the halftime was not there was no nervousness, there was no angriness, there was just what are we doing wrong, and what can we upgrades to win this game. And we were just we told a few things, I don't know, third defender, short rolls, whatever, and we just went out there, and I knew with time to time when we were gonna cut the lead, and we were gonna lead at one point. So yeah, I think even the guys, I can see it in their eyes that they never really thought we were gonna lose that game.
As a newcomer, it's your first time playing Tennessee. What have some of the guys that have played on before you talk about Otega's and TikTok? What have they been saying about how big this game is for?
Definitely big. I saw the fans texting me all the time. It's one of the biggest rivalries, and you just, I don't even know them, but you just adapt that rivalry, and you just don't like them instantly. And we really want to go out there and make a statement against them.
Why do you think this team starts so slow sometimes?
I don't even know because even Coach Pope, he's adjusting the lineup so we can not have a slow start. But I don't really have an answer to that. I'm not gonna lie, but mm, we were in, and I don't know, maybe. No, I don't really have an answer to that. I had to. I don't know, but we need to fix that. Definitely, that's our like number one problem that we always like go. We're always like trailing by 10 at the halftime, and then we are turning around the game, and that's it shows character, it's inspirational, but against real opponents, you need 40 minutes of good games to win, and that's what we need to do.
Does your defense surprise you at all sometimes?
I mean, yeah, I do have like I feel comfortable on defense, but of course I'm not perfect on defense. I do like three great things, and then I do one like really like amateur thing. But I need to work on that. I just need to keep my concentration for every second I'm on the court. But yeah, I feel like I can really contribute on the defensive end, and I'm getting really much better than that.
A little off topic, but now coming into the season, you've been to a couple different states now. Any cool thing you've seen from America since your first time here?
I think Nashville was pretty cool. Yeah. When we were there, like everything, there was like one street that was all like lighting up. There was music everywhere, and it's not just music everywhere, but every like bar, cafe had like a different kind of music. It was just like a different vibe. When you walked in, it's like you were in like a different cities. That was pretty cool. I don't know where. Of course, I mean New York. New York was awesome. We didn't see much of it, but it was like really really cool. So I like traveling around U.S. and seeing all these new states. Yeah.
Has there been anything that the guys have shown you that has really impressed you about the United States?
Well, in the days of social media, you know a lot about the United States, but it's just showing all these kinds of. There's like a widespread of like everything of like food wise, like arcade wise, and that. So I'm still exploring Lexington even, but yeah, I would like to travel all around U.S. definitely.